Folks, we are live. Now I'm looking at my hair, and my hair's all messed up.
Uh-oh.
It's been that kind of a day.
Yeah.
Welcome to Gamers
Very
Help.
messy day.
Oh my God. Fell off the wagon. We did everything. But yeah, it was when your afternoon goes pear shaped, that's what we essentially had.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna be cleaning all day.
I guess
Well, we
God
got rescued from that.
I guess God was looking out.
Yeah.
Well known as Cave. Welcome. So,
Somebody new.
yes. So we actually have a few viewers on Rumble. So it's this. It's funny. I thought that this week was going to be a quiet week.
And for all intents and purposes, it was pretty quiet.
It ended with
A little bang.
a little bang,
A little kaboom.
and a little keep the. I'll put it this way: Rach got all her exercise minutes in without turning on her watch. Am I right?
I turned it on when I realized I was like maybe 3 blocks in. I was like, oh, it's only 2:40. I'm only at 2:40. I need to go to like 100 or something. Yeah.
I got to keep this
Let
going.
me turn this humper on.
Yeah, and by the way, we both have the Apple Watches. I went in and I turned off a lot of notifications on my watch because I was getting maybe 18 hours of power. Now I'm up to about 24, which is where it's a couple of years old. We're probably going to get new ones this fall, but
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see what they come with.
and they don't come with the new ones. Aren't going to have the oxygen meter.
See, that's kind of wackadoo. That sucks. That's just like greed at its best.
Oh yeah,
Like
Apple's.
my patent, and
Well,
then they
no.
got theirs like.
Do you blame the? I don't blame the patent owner. I blame the company that's going
But
around the
how do you
patent.
have a monopoly on post boxes? Because everybody needs that.
They what the patent that listen. You can work around a patent by finding an alternative way of doing it. They didn't. They went.
Oh, you're saying they stepped on their patent?
That's apparently what it is, right?
Oh, okay. Well,
Tom, welcome.
some things I don't. Maybe there's not a way not to.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Then you license it, and Apple makes a slightly less impressive profit on their work. Oh, listen. Uh,
I mean, Apple's pretty greedy themselves.
Yeah.
They're not the victim.
Listen. Full disclosure: we are in the Apple. What is it? Market? No, the Apple environment.
Everything Apple.
Yeah.
All things Apple.
And I did this. Oh my God! I'm going to use a weird word for it. I did this transition back in 2007 or 2008 when I got my first Mac Mini, and I had both that and my PC on my desk. I had a switch box. I could go back and forth between the two.
And that was probably 2009. We were still dating.
Yes. And once I got comfortable with the Mac environment, the Apple environment, and I was able to wean my family off of Windows, which was constant tech support on my end, my life got a lot easier. My God, I would dread hearing a certain family member was coming over because it's like, and I just need you to look at my laptop, and
and then it was like that nudging shit that like they just don't go away. Like,
yeah.
Even though you're kind of like, I'll do it later, and then they're like, oh, well, I'll bring it to you. I'll put it right beside your chair.
It's like, I upgraded my first laptop from within the Apple environment. Like, here's an Apple laptop. So, but we digress. So this week we both had doctor's appointments. Last week I had my nephrologist, which is a kidney doc, and he increased my medication on my Corendia, basically doubled the dosage, and I had to go in for a blood test. And then the day after the blood test, I got a phone call from his office that he is prescribing 2 medications. one sodium bicarbonate, which is basically Alka-Seltzer in pill form, over the counter. And the other one is Veltassa. So this is something that if you've ever had like Metamucil or any other kind of fiber, you got to take something and mix it in, and if you don't, it gets like that gel-like thing going at the bottom. Well, this is almost a gel-like thing right from the start, and it's supposed to absorb potassium in your gut, so it doesn't leak from your stomach and your gut into your kidneys. It gets it before that, because my kidneys are leaking a little potassium, and not horribly, but enough that if you do it for a couple of years.
Is it the potassium that make the acidosis happen?
Oh.
Like these are all just things I heard.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that where that comes from?
It isn't a lot of it isn't a lot of leakage. It's a little leakage, but that's why we increased the Corendia to protect against. There was the whole leakage, but part of that is the potassium numbers. Oh, actually, no, it was protein. Protein is the leakage. Protein's the leakage. There, I got that right. That's leaking. That's leaking into my urine. That's not supposed to, and it's not a bad thing totally, but it's a bad thing over time. So more Corendia should mean less protein leakage, but the extra Corendia increased my potassium, and now I'm on this. And by the way, folks, if you don't have if this isn't covered by your prescription plan, this is a daily thing. Each of these packets for a month, it's like 1,100. Thank God
shit.
Thank God for a good prescription plan. That's all I am gonna say. Because yes, holy shit. But one of the things, and I guess we'll get into this a little bit early in a way because it's the theme of the show. One of the things my nephrologist said to me, the same thing that a cardiologist said to me last month, which was, you know, you do a lot better if you lost a little weight. Do a lot better if you lost a little weight.
A little, yeah.
A little weight goes a long way. So, Rach also, did you have a doctor's appointment today this week? Or
I did. I had the one at the endocrine on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Everything came back normal. We didn't do the we decided not to do the metabolic
blood work.
The metabolic workup because I was able to lose weight during the last week. So he was like, "Oh, it doesn't sound like it's broken." So I was like, "Okay," because initially my dietitian from my cancer center told me to get a metabolic workup because she was worried because I wasn't losing weight, but I was changing certain aspects of my diet. And then, during the last 2 weeks or a week and a half, probably 2 weeks now, going close. We made even more changes. So
it's about a week and a half.
Yeah. So that was, sort of the key in the lock there that, helped that be able to happen.
Right.
So,
you lost what? 5.2. 5.2 pounds. I lost about 4 pounds. That's essentially a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday that Tuesday through today, it's a week and a half.
Yep.
So actually, that's not bad. If you need to lose weight or are worried about metabolic issues, including insulin and stuff that affects the kidneys, look into the carnivore diet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm a shitty carnivore though.
Yeah, she's a
mean. I'm like, oh my tummy.
She's like, I need chicken with fish.
Yeah, I like the lean meats, which is good because that's a lot of what they recommend to me. Because of the arthritis too, lean meats, the olive oil, and they recommend salmon, anti-inflammatory things. So Trying to get closer to that.
John Miller, I went carnivore for health issues. Easily lost weight, even though that was not my goal.
Wow. Okay.
And
How
RPG
rigid
Grandma.
is that? Is that the one where like they only eat meat and they don't really take any veg, or?
I think it's fairly much like that. I'd have to look into it. I listen. I like my meat, but I don't know if I.
Yeah,
like
I
my
never
meat.
looked into it because I was like, oh, that might not be the right fit because of all the meat.
RPG Grandma's trying to lose weight also.
Yeah.
John Miller.
It's a tough road.
It sounds crazy, but the carnivore diet will help a lot of people. Fish and chicken work fine on the carnivore diet, but you also want to get enough fat. Saturated fat is actually anti-inflammatory. Grandma, I just need to go back to being a vegetarian again.
A lot
the carnivore
of people
can vary, but it's either meat only or meat plus dairy and eggs. I could possibly do meat plus
all the
dairy
things
and
that they tell us to stay away from with like Hashimoto's, like with the dairy and the.
Yeah. So, like we explained last week, one of the first things that we did was got rid of our snack bowls.
Yeah.
And got smaller snack bowls that literally hold half of what we were holding before. John, Nutrition with Judy channel on YouTube has a lot of science-based info on carnivore.
I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
No, most of our TV viewing is YouTube. I mean, I could probably I could probably cancel most of my on-demand channels and not miss much because we don't really watch them all that much, honestly. Just the way of the world. So one of the biggest bargains that I've done for us is I actually subscribe to the YouTube, but and we pay for it. But don't do it through Apple. The Apple environment tax like 30% onto the price. Go onto your computer, sign up then, and then just make sure that you log in on your Apple devices. Grandma, veggies, low dairy, eggs, okay. So, like I said, most mornings we have eggs.
Yeah.
But when I say eggs, it's each of us has
an egg.
It's a single egg. I used to add egg whites. I find that I don't need to add the egg whites. And when you buy egg whites, you usually have to use them in a week to 10 days after opening, and that doesn't mean that you're always gonna get it done in time. And I don't like wasting that stuff. John, funny thing is that the vegetarian diet can also help people like carnivore as long as they include unprocessed foods.
Yes.
Processed foods are the big problem.
And that's what we've been working on too.
Yes.
Stuff that we cook at home that, isn't like Hamburger Helper or like, not that we ever eat that, but like, we would pretty often eat like, food from outside, like, sometimes fast food, sometimes others.
Right.
And then others like that were just like very highly packaged. And so now we've been, just buying our meat, and then
by the way,
like
when
getting some vegetables.
When Rach says meat, she's talking ground turkey. But no.
Turkey, yeah, and chicken.
But now this is the funny thing. When Rach says meat like that, she's talking red meat. Unless, of course, it's in a burger, in which case it's perfectly fine.
Until later when I'm dying because my stomach hurts.
Up to your grandma right now, waiting for gas company to show and explain how my summer gas bill for 1 month is higher than 3 months of winter combined.
Whoa.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right. John Miller, but if you need to lose weight or if you need to reduce your blood sugar or carb intake, carnivore is perfect. My blood sugar actually, last time at my endocrinologist, which was only like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, my cardiologist, I got a lot of specialists. This is what getting old is all about, right? My cardiologist was bringing up the idea of getting me back on an injectable, like Ozempic or Mounjaro, something like that. But my blood sugar is under control, and that's great. It'll be more under control if I could lose some weight.
Right, so, and it's actually getting better because you've had less experiences of low blood sugar
low blood sugar.
emergency. So
But my blood sugar at night now is usually in the 80s, believe it or not.
mhm.
It's nice. My nighttime blood sugar has been pretty steady and uh, spot on.
Yeah.
So, and I like to claim that one of
So
the
that's
secrets,
something that's
one of those secrets is red wine. That's my thought.
okay.
The red wine.
But you were drinking red wine before.
Shush.
And so now, like, since we've
I
changed things
I
up
know.
and started cooking at home
Yes.
and,
Well,
you know,
so we've been doing a
eating
lot.
less processed things,
We've been doing
it's
a
been
lot of
helping.
cooking at home. So some of the things that have made the cooking at home less of a chore, because let's face it, if you're going to make a dish and it's going to be I don't know, you're doing a vegetable stir fry. You got to cook your chicken before you cook your meat. It's going to take a while. Or cook your dish. You know, you got all these steps. So we've been doing the Purdue pre-cooked, sliced,
not fried.
not fried.
Mhm. Like some of it's rotisserie, some of it's just baked chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
baked chicken. And these bags, it's a serving size, is 2.5 servings. So if I split the bag between the two of us, we're getting just over a serving of meat. And if I made a vegetable stir fry with frozen vegetables and low sodium soy sauce, a
Were they
little.
frozen or just refrigerated? And
No,
they were like
no,
prepared.
they were frozen.
Oh,
With what kind of oil did we have?
the sesame oil,
Sesame oil. I just used a little dash of that. I used a
just to
little
bring the
olive oil.
flavor.
And I gotta say, it was really, really good. Now I spiced it up with some other stuff: garlic, onion powder,
Oh, you know
some.
what? We have a ginger squeezy thing in the door.
Oh
That would
yeah,
have been really good. Or
some
can be again.
red flake peppers. The peppers actually just added just enough taste to
Mhm.
it that and that's I find that's the secret to eating healthy. It can't be bland. When eating healthy tastes like eating healthy, you're done. You're done. Oh man, we got lots of chat going on here. John Miller, saturated fat is less unhealthy than polyunsaturated fat, which comes
Yes.
from seed oils. Yeah, we're looking at ingredients and everything and looking for seed oils.
Yeah, there was one thing that I picked up, like a green curry
Yeah.
paste, and he's like, "Oh, Rachel, this has canola oil," and I went, "Oh shit! All right, we'll just throw it out," because I didn't think to look.
Monosaturated fat, olive oil is the second best to saturated fat. Monosaturated and saturated fats are more chemically stable than unsaturated fat, and that is why they cause less inflammation.
Mhm.
Okay. TXG, my doc said you need to lose weight, and I responded with I like to eat. He countered with I like to eat too, but not every meal has to be a damn feast.
Right.
I was 305 pounds then, and now 220 pounds.
Nice.
Awesome. So, again, we did the stir fry came out far better than I had hoped.
Oh my god! But the best meal of the week,
Yes.
it was the tom yum soup.
Okay, so now on Amazon, these are konjac noodles. Okay. And one of the konjac, when you do a search for it, there's a tom yum soup. Now, if you've had tom yum soup, it is a Thai dish. It's a little spicy.
It's
When
got noodles.
they use like I guess like rice noodles, usually the clear noodles,
Yeah.
with sprouts in it, and sometimes bamboo shoots,
Mhm.
in it, and then you get it with chicken or shrimp or beef. I usually get it with chicken. So this tom yum soup, it came in those like make your own ramen containers, but you wouldn't want to because you got to rinse these noodles anyway. I just took out a pot. I put a quart of water in it, started heating it up, rinsed my noodles as the water started getting warm.
Now, were the noodles boiled in there,
Yeah, but they're already
or did you have to cook it in the pan first?
konjac noodles. You're just warming up.
Oh,
So once the water got warm, I put the noodles in, put the chicken in, sort of, put some flavor, put their flavoring in, but
He
then
put mushrooms in mine because I
yes,
like that. And yeah, we had it with the mung bean sprouts, and then yeah, like we in hindsight we were like, oh, we should have cut off some chives and stuck it
right, because we have
in there
chives
because
on our garden,
yeah,
inside hydroponics. So it was a good. We ate out once. We had Chinese food at our sit down restaurant.
which is pretty controlled for me because I'll make mine a special order like for the to have it steamed, and then like some of the brown sauce on the side so I can control how much goes on,
Hmm.
and that ends up being good. And we always get the brown rice, or I always get the
I
brown
know I'm
rice.
getting the brown rice.
And yeah, you started to.
I I, I was cheating and going, oh, I'm gonna have the pork fried rice. It's delicious there. But then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go with the brown rice.
Mhm.
It's it's fine. And
I love brown rice.
I go between the beef with broccoli or the pepper steak because I like peppers and I like onions, and it's got both. John, in my experience, weight loss is automatic on carnivore, even when you're eating large amounts of fatty meats.
Mm.
I eat a couple of pounds of meat a day, 0 pounds overweight. Yeah, right.
Wow.
My that's when you're gonna have those poops that stink out the house. I'm just saying. That much meat,
Oh, the meaty poops.
the
Ooh.
meaty poops, yeah. It seems that carbs, as well as unprocessed food and seed oils, are leading to some of the weight gain in our society. That's
Yes.
certainly a huge part of it. Like I said, we're really paying more attention to. We're reading ingredients lists on stuff that we're looking at, especially
Except
stuff
for
that.
when we don't, we have to throw it
Well,
out.
well, yeah, but it was cheap enough,
Yeah.
you know, because yeah, we're looking for avocado oil, we're looking for olive oil. Now, listen, if I find olive oil in a prepackaged food, for me that's good. I'm not looking to make sure that, oh, is it virgin olive oil? Is it single sourced? I'll worry about that when I'm buying the bottle because I'm going to be using that on multiple dishes, and I need to know. But when it comes to things that might not be the healthiest choice in the first place, healthier certainly helps. This is like a game of horseshoes to some extent, in my opinion. Where getting close is pretty good, even if isn't perfect every time. Now today,
Well, you know what it is? It's better than it was. Because, like, there was a time where we didn't pay attention and where we would just get something highly processed, heated up, and call it a day. But,
yeah,
yeah.
TXG, the doc told me someday you'll be in my office with one leg and on oxygen. We'll be trying to just keep you alive. That was enough for me.
Oh.
Yeah, I have friends that have lost limbs to diabetes, and I have no limbs, kidneys. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not like I when I was hospitalized back in 2020. Um, the first week I was there for like 3 weeks. First week I didn't have a roommate, and I did have one really good roommate. Younger guy in his mid 30s. Uh, had a good job, but he had kidney failure. Had to go on dialysis every 3 days.
Oh.
So he had to play. And we were talking. He goes, "Yo, yeah. When I go on vacations, I have to plan out my dialysis."
Yes. And it can't be gone for too long. Or will they dialyze him in another state?
He arranges it that there's another. If he goes away for a week, that he gets dialysis treatment out of state.
Hmm.
But he goes, but it's just a pain in the ass. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, thank you. I think I'll do what's in my power.
Hmm.
Right? There are certain things that are not within your power, but don't be the person that goes, "Oh, it's not in my power." No, you know what's in your power. Don't lie to yourself. Okay, my weight.
Well, we actually often find out what's within our control. Um, when we're given certain news like TXG or like us, like yeah, well, the only thing that you can do now is lose this weight.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the biggest changes for us, and I again, I listen, if we put on weight or if we lose weight, um, most of that responsibility is on me because I make the
Right.
majority.
I mean,
I make the majority of the meals. I make the choices to a large extent of what we're eating. So if we're doing poorly, it really sits on my lap for the most part.
right. And there's some things like, medications and stuff that can carry that risk of weight gain.
Yes.
But, learning how your body tolerates certain things and cutting out other things in order to accommodate that issue, because the value of the medicine is higher than the, it, you'll pay the tax of having that side effect and having to work around it for the benefit that the medication brings.
Right.
Like, being on it for 5 years and not having cancer recur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, when I had Hodgkin's and I had to go through radiation, I didn't have to go through radiation. It was recommended by my oncologist. I sat down with the radiation doc, and he explained to me that, hey, radiation does have a secondary risk, and it can damage your heart, damage your lungs. That's the reason why
Mhm.
when you're going to go through Hodgkin's treatment, they do a sono of your heart, they do a sono of your lungs because they need to know where you're starting from because the chemo process itself can damage you. And I didn't get much damage from the chemo, but I think I was because my hair wasn't falling out. I had to
Mhm.
go figure that one out. And I had bought all these damn hats for the process.
But it was the chemo that,
Helped
eventually
eventually.
contributed to the diabetes.
Yes, well,
Mhm.
the chemo kicked off the diabetes.
Okay.
I mean, I might have been, borderline, but the chemo set the diabetes and brought it to the forefront. But the radiation could damage my heart and damage my lungs. Now, I know that my lungs are damaged to some extent because, and I don't know whether it's from the
Or
radiation, the
9/11.
chemo, or 9/11, but I have what they call a stained glass effect, like a crystallization. It shows up
Mhm.
on X-rays, whatever. And
It
my
shows up like on your chest X-ray.
yeah,
Okay.
but my heart was damaged by the radiation, and my carotid was damaged by the radiation. And when the doc was telling me that there can be secondary effects, but he did recommend it despite the secondary effects, my response, just like a gamer, right, a D&D player, is, well, you know what you're telling me, we're going to pump this down how many years? He goes, probably 10, 15, maybe 20 before you have to worry about it. I go, well, then we'll be 10, 15, maybe 20 years more advanced.
Yes. And that's true.
And that's true.
By God's grace.
So we were just about, oh God, about 12, we were, what, 12 years when
Mhm.
I had my congestive heart failure.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Now, my heart's been working fine. My blood sugar is more under control. This is all great, but if my heart's working sort of fine, and I can cut the weight, then my heart will work
Even more.
even more, even more better. So I got to cut the weight,
Yeah.
and listen, just like the turtle, slow and
And
steady.
even just for like your bones and stuff, like for your
Well, yeah,
joints.
well, like that's the reason why Rach was told by her orthopedic, pretty much,
Yeah.
that you should lose the weight because it's putting stress on your knees. You know, so I will say that it is easier to try this with somebody else
Yes.
because now listen, tonight, the afternoon we had Okay. The afternoon we had, we're driving home from the afternoon we had, and we're both going, are you hungry? Are you feeding anything? And we were both feeding fast food. Because what is fast food? It is that when you're
Yeah,
under
I
a lot of
wasn't sure if like when we decided to go home, like maybe we can make a better decision,
uh,
you know.
we actually stopped at a Wendy's.
And we found that the bathrooms were locked and said, "All right, we're out."
Yeah, I think I can't risk ordering food. I've been in the car for like almost 4 hours. My bladder has a limit. We joke about that on the live streams when they run over 2 hours. It's like, I better it's gotta go to the bathroom now. You know what? I've got a limit, and we had surpassed my limit, so we came back to the house, and then I was like, okay, I'm still feeding for fast food. So looking through my Uber app, Sonic had the best deals going. Want to buy one get one. If I'm gonna go bad, I'm going to go bad in a tasty way. And we did find out that Sonic has some amazing jalapeno poppers. They call it shed penos or something like that. I have no idea. Those are good.
Yeah, they were good.
I would go. I would
They
go
were
to
the
a Sonic.
best out of the whole thing.
I would go to a Sonic just to have those.
Hmm.
It's like I'm gonna have a
Maybe
salad when I
if
get
we
home.
if we do it again in 2 weeks, then maybe we could get salads, or we could get
I don't know if
maybe grilled chicken, or something like that
I don't
instead
think
of the meat.
I don't think Sonic does salads. They're not like Wendy's. They don't try to pretend they're healthy.
Uh,
I don't think they do that. TXG, the biggest thing about losing weight is realize that it's not what you eat, but what's between your ears. You do eat, and what triggers some of those decisions.
yes.
Grandma, I am thinking easing back into that cutting meat down then out. Start
Okay.
paying attention to serving sizes for sure. Like I said, when we got to this decision early last week, I went on. I don't think I even told Rach I ordered new snack bowls.
Well, you ordered them, and then you were like, you
Uh,
went in the kitchen for something, and then you're like, oh, I ordered new snack bowls that are smaller, and I was like, awesome, great, we can throw all this other crap out. So
yes,
like,
we did.
I got up and threw it out, and so like, yeah, we were both very committed and excited, and still are.
Right. So that it literally cut our snack bowls because we generally listen. And I know theoretically you're supposed to have 4 or 5 small meals or 3 meals and two small snacks.
Right, and that there should be protein at every time that you eat.
Right.
Usually, yeah,
But we
whether
generally
it's plant or
we generally have
animal.
our breakfast. Then we have our
Supper.
supper. You talk about between 4 and 6,
Mhm.
and then we have
Our snacks around 9.
Yeah, maybe 10:30 if I had a live stream.
Right.
But now our snack has our snack has always had cheese,
Nuts.
turkey pepperoni,
Yeah.
nuts. But I'm cutting back greatly on the stuff that was always like the topper, like the pretzels for Rach or the crackers for me. Which for me, those are carbs that I probably don't need, but it's
And
also
here.
empty calories. You know, so my blood sugar has been much better since we've been doing this.
Yeah.
Again, I've been enjoying working with the cone jack pasta. I mean,
Yeah, that comes out really good.
and I
Because
will.
we've had it Italian too.
Yeah,
Um.
that was really good.
Yeah.
Sausages, chicken sausages. So now, here's the thing. When and this is kind of one of the reasons why there are a number of reasons why I don't want to go back on the injectables. One's the nausea, but another big reason why I don't want to go back on something like Mounjaro is that it controls my blood sugar to the point where I am tempted to go, hey, let's go out and get a pasta. Hey,
Right.
let's go
It
out.
sets your thinking in a different direction, and that's not helpful.
Right now, maybe I can't eat the whole dish because of the nausea, but I shouldn't be eating that in the first place. Like, I think it's pretty good.
And not to mention the whole fact that there's often shortages with it because of people, you know, using it for weight loss.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to like diabetes. Yeah, weight loss, like obesity, is its own illness, I guess you could say. But um, I don't know. I just feel like you know there are people that really need it to
Right.
live. You
Right.
know,
Their reasons are a bit stronger.
yeah,
But the pharmaceutical companies, all they care about is
yeah.
they are lowering the prices though for
Are they?
yes, for
Is that through Medicare or
no,
is that because
no,
of the government or
nope, they're lowering the prices about 50%,
really?
which still is outrageous. But no longer $1,000 a month. It's like 500 a month
Wow.
if you're if you're going
But your insurance only if you're diabetic.
right, and
Otherwise,
even then
you're not gonna get it.
yeah, and even then it's
Yeah, I was asking my oncologist. I was like, "Oh, so what about a study? What's good? Like a study that I could get in, to help look at how semaglutide medications help cancer survivors and prolong life or prolong remissions and or just keep you cancer free."
right.
And she's like, no, they're not really willing. They've tried to get
Yep.
it,
Nope.
and pharmaceuticals, they're holding that shit hostage because they can make so much money.
We don't
instead of
need
just giving
that.
it to a study to do. Yeah.
We don't need that. Grandma going to the cupboard and chuck certain things. Well, that's what Rach and my sister did.
Yes.
When
I did, and then I just gave it to her to
Oh,
get it out of here.
all right. Well, when I had congestive heart failure, they went through the closet.
Yeah, if it had more than like 300 milligrams of sodium, it went
Gone.
Yeah, gone.
You're fired.
It's probably still sitting in her room, her side room there. The one that they keep like all the emergency preparedness.
Oh,
yeah.
Uppity grandma, a good rule for food is think first good, then work toward better,
Yes.
and then move to best. It works thinking that way. So I mean, like my slightly off topic, but not really. I'm like my mother swears by Olivio. She believes that this margarine stuff, which by the way, it has some olive oil in it, but it's mostly seed oils.
It just says olive oil on the label, and so that would lead her to believe it's all olive oil.
But it isn't. It has some olive oil in it, but it isn't.
Right, and you've shown her, and she's like, no.
No, so whatever. So now with us, we get butter, but we get butter with olive oil in it. First off, it's easier to spread. But what I don't understand
is the whip butter.
Right. But what I don't understand is they sell it two ways: canola oil and olive oil, and it's usually the same damn price.
That's crazy. Why would they do that? Oh, because Big Food was pushing canola oil for the longest time.
What, it was healthy for you?
Yeah, I guess they were saying like that is less fat, or like that it was that it was better than something else, and
they're full of poop.
Yeah, it was like a big deal, like in the 80s and 90s.
All right, we're gonna have to take a break from us yapping because I gotta catch up on the chat here. TXG, I ate a lot. That was how I coped with stress.
Yeah.
It was a vicious cycle. It was not unusual for me to eat a pint of ice cream a day and 3 large supreme pizzas a week.
Oh, wow.
That would have been a light week. And up to grandma, it's a brutal cycle to get into. The more you cook yourself, the more control over you have versus buying stuff pre-made. That is certainly true. And lots of good foods become filled with junk filler fat.
Yes.
Building or diabetes causing stuff when sold pre-made. Radiation and chemo really messed up my hubby for a long time. John Miller. Oh. I lost around 10 to 15 pounds by going on carnivore without even trying.
Wow.
I weigh 150. On a typical day, I may eat a pack of bacon, 6 hot dogs, a 1-pound burger, or a steak and a rack of ribs. I don't know how you can afford carnivore in today's
Yeah, hey.
prices.
I mean, and then like with cancer fighting, like I have to be really careful about consuming bacon and like
Yeah, I know.
meats like that, and red meat. So because like the things that they found was like that red meat and alcohol are the things that have like many strong studies that show that can contribute to like recurrence. And so that's why I kind of cut those things
Yeah.
out or very low.
RBG grandma, going back to radiation and chemo, can really mess stuff up internally. It messed with hubby's bones and digestion capacity.
Yeah.
Suddenly, most foods he could not digest. For me, when I was on chemo, I had chemo every 2 weeks. I was on Wednesdays, and I thought I was first chemo treatment. I came home, I had, I don't know, pizza or whatever. I was feeling hot diggity. Second one, I was like, oh, look, homemade stew. And I got through half a bowl, and then I was in the bathroom throwing it all up.
Aw.
And I learned that usually Wednesday, Thursday through midday Friday,
Oh, you had a fast.
I had a.
Yeah.
It was like
They talk about
broth and crackers.
Mm.
So it's taken years to get his weight back on and ability to digest foods back.
Mhm.
John, I have heard that long fasting 2 days can help to recover from chemo. I could see it flushing out the system.
Yeah, they talk about that as people get ready for it.
I mean, I know that when I would have the chemo, and they would tell you after you have the chemo, drink plenty of fluids for the next day or 2,
Mm-hmm.
because your pee, your urine would be like pink.
Pink.
Yes, from the color of the chemos that were going into you, you
Oh,
were still, and I would basically drink a lot of water until my
Mhm.
urine started turning more clear or yellow.
Mhm.
TXG. We are also genetically predisposed to go after the sweet, salty, fatty foods that happen to be the specialty
Mhm.
of fast food joints.
Yes.
First thing Rach asked me tonight, she's like, "Did you order fries?" And I went, "No fries."
And I mean that was good because those had the least food value.
Yeah,
The least nutritional value out of anything that we got.
their bacon cheeseburger was 2 for 1, and their corn dogs were 2 for 1.
I'd never had a corn dog
I figured
before.
a corn dog was going to have more health value than
French fries.
than the French fries. Up to grandma, fasting would have killed hubby as he was skin and bones by the end of the treatment.
Oh.
TXG, my boss does OMAD, 1 meal a day. We eat lunch together, and he eats a ton, but that is the only meal he has. He's lost about 200 pounds to each his own. Everybody's metabolism is a bit different.
Yes.
That is for sure. John, it's interesting that we gamers have reputation for being overweight and unhealthy. I reckon there's some truth to the stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's true, I wonder why. I think because gamers gear more toward mental activities, read more.
Right.
They're
People
less physically
associate them
active.
with being sedentary.
Yeah. I think in general rule, there are exceptions to this rule. Greg Gillespie, Skeeter Green, and folks like them are the exception to the rule. But I think
And up in New Hampshire,
Ian,
Jeff Talani
Jeff,
and Ian also. Ian is very health conscious.
So there are certainly the exceptions to that general rule, but generally, yes. Junk food, way too much junk food. That's RPG grandma.
That too.
John, why is being a fan of RPGs correlated with certain diets or lifestyles? Do gamers tend to eat more or more processed foods, or get less exercise, or what? Also, at the gaming table, what did we eat as teens and in our 20s?
Doritos.
Doritos, Mountain Dew, Gatorade, ring dings, ding dongs, make a trip to Wendy's. We didn't eat good. Nobody was like going, "Oh, break out the salads," right? Nobody was doing that. I'm just saying. Not saying we shouldn't have. I'm just saying we didn't. RPG grandma, I think it's America in general. Myself,
I agree with that because so much of the food is basically poison.
Yeah. John, role-playing games itself does correlate with eating junk food while playing. Yes, it does. Pharmaceutical companies can't stay in business if no one is sick. I am not going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
I would hazard a guess if they can find something to treat or find something to cure, they'll find something to treat.
Yeah.
Keep you on it to keep you healthy, as opposed to, oh, we found a way to put this in remission. Take this for 100 days and you'll be good to go. There's no money in that.
Mm-mm.
Yep, Mountain Dew.
That's another scary part of the Ozempic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was interesting in a yoga symposium that was sort of working on issues of addiction and eating disorder and things like that. There was a big discussion about the ethics around Ozempic and Suboxone. And they were sort of likening the two, because it gets to be like a maintenance medication, and it's was that intended to be a maintenance medication? But maybe not. But these things often get to be
right
maintenance medications to be able to maintain the gains that you've had. And I don't know, it's just an interesting look at it.
TXG, his boss was 400 pounds before I knew him, hovering now around 200. John, I used to think red meat wasn't healthy, but since I've learned otherwise, fish and poultry can also work on carnivore. Carnivore can be more expensive, but ground beef can be cheap if you buy it at the right place. Trader Joe's actually has decent prices for meat.
Yeah, we love Trader Joe.
Yep. Grandma, I'm leaning toward light meat and way heavy veggies right now.
Nice.
Rationing my dairy. Dairy can pack it on.
I don't drink milk and tea anymore.
I do, but it's not a lot of milk. We eat a lot in America, but so much of it is poor nutrition. And even overweight people are not getting enough nutrition, plus all the vitamins. Oh my God, I think I've caught up. Grandma, again, the body knows what it needs, more of X, so keep trying to get it, and it can't. America is pretty ignorant about what a good diet is, I think. Well,
yes.
We had that.
We've been scammed by our government.
That's the kid. Our kid.
Oh, okay.
Our kid.
It's like the boy kid.
The boy kid is probably going, well, they didn't do a live stream last night. I know they're not doing one tonight. We've only been doing this for how many years now, Rach? 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, TXG. Since I went low carb, I haven't had an acid reflux.
Oh, wow.
I know correlation isn't causation, but I have no other explanation.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a lot of acid reflux when I was on the Manjaro. It's another reason why I don't want to go back on it, because I was eating Tums like they were going out of style, which is why I have a little bitty kidney stone. I don't want to turn into a big itty. I want that kidney stone to go away. So, just saying. Well, I don't know if you can see behind my head, kind of in the middle of the screen, sitting right under the lamp. That is the idol. It's a plush style idol of the Player's Handbook from 1E. That came in the package that came today. I forgot that I ordered it.
I didn't even notice that.
Yes.
When did you put it there?
I put it there right before the show.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, Rich. He ain't gonna stay there to look down on you.
She's gonna pull my hair.
No, that's the cat that's gonna pull your hair. It's the cat.
Yeah, she definitely does that.
So, as a side note, about half our viewers are watching on X, so I really do appreciate it. I have noticed a lot of views coming from X when we do these live streams, and I think that is awesome. Rumble is hit or miss, but I'm sure as time goes on, it'll.
But the Xers can't interact with us.
They did Wednesday night.
They were able? How?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't. You know what? Here, maybe I have to hit the chat thing. I don't
Well,
think
you had
so.
to open it on your side?
Let me see if I can just do a test and see if it comes. Or a twist, because that's not even a test. Your post was sent. Somebody sent something the other night, and it actually came through, but obviously that one is not. I don't know how it came through from X, but I saw it come up on the screen.
In there?
Yeah,
Oh.
came up on the chat.
Huh.
So I don't know.
That's cool.
I gotta figure that out. Dun, 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 dun. No, I don't. I don't know. I don't know how this X thing works so well. I'm working.
All right, we'll learn.
John, carnivore also helped my skin health. Low carb and carnivore have a variety of knock-on health benefits that are hard to explain. Less inflammation, easier on the body.
Yes.
TXG, I used to have nightmare reflux when eating tomatoes or spicy foods, but not now. Monthly, I had to up my Nexium prescription. Wow. Well, there you go. I mean, that's, listen, a lot of this is trial and error. And I already know at some point, Rachel and I, probably not at the same point, are going to hit our plateau.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to probably require change.
Well, I told the endocrine guy, I told the endo that I'll be back when I hit a plateau.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be trying again.
I'll be back.
I'll be
Don't think I'm going to leave you alone.
Wow. I think we covered a lot of ground today. We didn't do much of our weekend review, but our weekend review was literally this diet. And I don't want to call it a diet, okay? It's a change in eating habits.
Mm-hmm.
When you call it a diet, it has a lot of weight and predispositions that are attached to it.
Right, and that it's not a forever thing.
Right. No, this is, and Rach remarked to me the other day when I made our stir-fried veggies with chicken. What did you say, Rach?
I think I said something to the effect of, did you ever think that we would just be satisfied with like chicken and vegetables, and not need some kind of starch or, some other thing, and we were very satisfied.
Yeah. I mean, that was, it would, I made the meal. I was surprised at how good it was.
Yeah.
But we're ordering more. Actually, we're ordering aminos, low sodium aminos, which is a soy substitute for the soy sauce.
Oh, that's the bread.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we got to maintain that low sodium. You don't want to. Both of us have been impressing with our low blood pressure, healthy blood pressure.
Yeah.
And our doctor's visits, but we don't want to go beyond that. Grandma, who remembers cod liver oil as part of a childhood supplement? Never.
Cod liver oil.
I remember hearing about it. My family never did it. Thank God.
I've heard of it in like Irish songs.
No, RPG Grandma, you probably shouldn't have. I don't know. I don't know if it's one of those omegas that you need. I couldn't tell you.
I guess it is omega-3s.
I guess. One of those omega things. Now next week, we gotta make this announcement early. Next week, Gamers Health will be on Sunday night. There will not be a Saturday night Gamers Health.
We have a wedding on Saturday that we're going.
One of my originals from my gamer group, from my high school and college days, is getting married. First marriage for him. God bless him. He was the last holdout in the group, and it should be a good time. Grandma, we used to give to our kids when they said they were sick. Amazing recovery happened every time. TXG, I started adding cycling to my routine. It's the most embarrassing thing to see is I don't know how to shift gears and I'm trying to figure it out. Well, I look like a hamster in a cage. Hey, if it works, it works. Don't stress it. Right? That's the whole thing. You got to find what works for you. As Rach, her knees get better, our walks are getting longer.
Yes.
And soon enough, we'll be back to the big side of our park.
Yeah.
And
I'll be going over to the mall on my own.
you own it. You own it.
I'll be able to get back from the mall soon.
Uh-huh. So probably a good time to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Again, next week it's going to be Sunday at 8 o'clock. So I'll mention it again on the other live streams and on the videos.
Yeah. We'll tell you how it went at the wedding.
Yes, we don't plan on eating exceptionally healthy. Just getting it out of the way. We're gonna eat good food, assuming there's good food to eat. Just, other than that, folks, as always, thank you. I don't care how you watch, whether you're on the YouTube, the X, Rumble, we're glad to have you. All right. So, as always, be safe, be well. God bless. Well, this nice world and well. We will catch you all. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Rachel will be back a week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow.
A week from tomorrow, folks. All right. Good night.
Take good care, everyone.
God bless.